Welcome to the Novata Human Resources Management System, a system that provides your company with the capability to manage and administer the complete employee life cycle for your human resources organization. There are 4 core modules within the Human Resources Management System: applicant tracking, employee appraisal, and work schedule and time management. The 4th module is the administration module. This module provides a few key people within the organization the overall system administration responsibility to manage, administer, and configure the human resources management system to meet specific needs and requirements of the organization. In this demonstration, we will present the features and functions of the applicant tracking module. Using this module, a company can post open job positions on their homepage to be accessed by both external applicants and internal employees of the company. External applicants can then complete their employment applications online for submission to the company. This module performs an evaluation of each candidate's application and provides a hiring matrix which rates each candidate based upon parameters established by the company. This hiring matrix significantly enhances the screening process used for evaluating external applicants and internal employees. This allows the hiring manager to select only the top candidates to go to the next step in the hiring process. The company has the option to formalize the scheduling of candidate interviews with timeframes for interview evaluations, thereby allowing objective and timely feedback on the results of the interviews. Once the candidate is selected for the job position, all applicable data on the candidate's application is auto-loaded into the company's employee database, thereby eliminating any need to manually enter the candidate's information. The single most critical data element in the applicant tracking module is the job position. The job position is used to advertise openings on the company's website, identifies the job qualifications and job requirements to potential candidates, and maintains parameters used for evaluating candidates, which results in a hiring matrix ranking the candidates for the job position. The job position itself is created and maintained by the HRMS administrative staff and the company management staff. The applicant tracking module begins with the creation of a job opening for a job position within the company, with a job opening being placed on the company's homepage. To accomplish these 2 tasks, we would simply update the job position for which an opening exists. In our example, we are going to update the job position of customer service representative within the customer services department. By selecting a job position, the following screen is displayed. This display identifies the fields which can be updated for a job position. To create an opening for the job position of customer service representative, we will just update those fields that apply to the creation of such an opening. For demonstration purposes, we have entered the applicable data to create a job position opening. The first data field, we updated his positions currently available. We changed from 0 to 1 to indicate that a position is available as a customer service representative in the company. Scrolling down, we then indicated the start date when we want the job position opening to be announced on the company's homepage and the end date when the job position opening should be taken off the company's homepage. These posting start date and end dates are of course date sensitive, whereby the company can actually have a start date in the future. The system will delay posting the job opening until that day arrives. In our example, we will have a posting start date of 10 February and a posting end date of 15 April. If in fact the applicant is hired to fill the open job position of customer service representative during the time frame of start date and end date, the company would change the positions currently available from 1 to 0 and the system would remove the job position vacancy from the company's homepage. The next field is the apply by date. That is the last date that the system will accept online applications for the job position opening. We have likewise selected yes on publish position name on the internet to have the job opening posted on the company's web page. For yes to be selected, the field positions currently available must have a value greater than 0 to indicate there are job openings available for this job position. The last field requiring an update to reflect an open job position is the field date available. This is the date a candidate must be available for employment should they be hired by the company. Once these fields are updated, simply select the Update Job Position. Additional fields will be displayed which will allow the HR or hiring manager to review the functions and responsibilities and duties of the job position and modify those as required. Since this is an existing job position, changes are not normally required. Hence, we just navigate through the 4 remaining screen displays, and on the last screen display, select Update Job Position to get a confirmation that the job position has been updated. Once this confirmation has been received, the system will automatically place the job opening on the company's homepage beginning on the start date as indicated in the job position update. Once we have updated the job position to indicate that we have a job opening and the start date is equal to today's date, the job position opening will be announced on the company's homepage. Since we do not have a homepage in our demonstration, we have added a tab entitled Job Postings to reflect the process that would be used for an external candidate to access the company's homepage. By selecting Job Postings, this screen displays 2 job openings available within the company. Since we are interested in applying for the position of Customer Service Representative, we would select that job position name and the following screen would then be displayed. By selecting Customer Service Representative in the previous screen, this screen displays the job position of Customer Service Representative and the information regarding the job position such as salary, position requirements, and a position description. A candidate will indicate their ability to meet each of these areas of expertise. These responses will be used to create a hiring matrix which will rank all candidates based upon their responses in being able to meet these areas of expertise. The areas of expertise are for illustration and demonstration purposes only. The company's HRMS administrative staff is responsible for the creation and administration of all associated areas of expertise that may be required by any job position within the company. Scrolling down to the bottom of the job position display, the candidate would select the tab I would like to apply for this position and the following screen is displayed. By selecting I would like to apply for this position, an online application is displayed to the candidate to complete. Section 1 contains basic information about the candidate. For the sake of brevity, we have completed the information for candidate 1, and selected next to go to the next page of the online application. This section of the application provides the candidate the opportunity to indicate their ability to meet the demands and requirements for the job position together with indicating their areas of expertise required by the job position. As we mentioned earlier in the demonstration, the areas of expertise will be used as parameters in evaluating the qualifications of this candidate and creating a hiring matrix, which rates the candidate's applications. In our example, candidate 1 has indicated they meet the requirements required by the job position. In addition, they have the areas of expertise required by the job position. This section of the online application deals with the employment history for applicant 1. Once again, for the sake of brevity, we have completed the employment history for candidate 1. Basic information about their employment with this particular employer, Johnson Electronics. Their starting position, their current position, their starting salary, current salary, supervisor, and other items of information regarding their employment with Johnson Electronics. A separate page would be required for each employer for which candidate 1 worked for. In our example, we will restrict our employment history to just this employer, Johnson Electronics. Since we only have one employer for which we are providing information, we will scroll down to the bottom of the screen and select Next Page/section indicating I am finished entering my job employment history. The final section of the online application deals with the educational level of the candidate and personal references the candidate wishes to provide. Note that one reference is required to be submitted. In this part of the application, the candidate must indicate whether they had ever been convicted of a criminal offense. If the answer is yes, they must complete the information as displayed regarding the criminal offense committed. In addition, there are general employment questions as depicted on the screen. The last paragraph in this section is for the candidate to attest to the fact that the application and information provided is complete and accurate to the best of their knowledge. To complete the application for submission, the candidate must acknowledge the fact that the company can review all information connected with the application and prospective employers. This acknowledgement is indicated by checking the box in the lower right-hand corner of the application. Selecting next to the lower left-hand corner of the display will confirm the application has been submitted by the candidate. In addition to the confirmation that the application has been submitted, the candidate is given the option to either print or email their application. Once again, for brevity purposes, we have completed additional online applications. We can now move to the next step of the online applicant tracking module, whereby the company evaluates the online applications submitted for the open job position. To start the candidate evaluation in the applicant tracking module, the hiring manager would select the Applications tab, then the Advanced Search Applications sub-tab. The selection of Basic Reports by Position or Custom Reports by Position will determine how the parameters are applied to the candidate's applications in creating a hiring matrix. The hiring matrix being a very valuable tool in the initial screening of candidate applications. Since we have a small number of candidates who submitted applications for the customer services representative position, we will use the Basic Reports by Position, thereby displaying more candidates when the hiring matrix is created. By selecting Basic Reports by Position, the following screen is displayed. This screen provides the ability to search employment applications based upon the job position in the drop-down box. In our example, we will search employment applications for the customer service representative position. Selecting Search Employment Applications will provide the following display. This screen provides the hiring manager with the ability to apply specific criteria in selecting the applications to be placed on a hiring matrix. For example, returning the top 50 applicants based upon the candidates meeting specific job requirements within the job position, or selecting both internal and external applications. Scrolling down to the bottom of the display, select Search Employment Applications to create the hiring matrix. Based upon requirements and areas of expertise, the hiring matrix lists the candidates from most qualified to least qualified, with candidate 1 being one of the most qualified candidates. The hiring manager, by selecting last name in this example, 1, would then have candidate 1's application displayed to the hiring manager. The hiring manager would review the application of candidate 1 on this display and the following display. The hiring manager then decides that this candidate is the best candidate available for the job position and should go to the next step in the hiring process, which is contacting the candidate references. The hiring manager would select Contact Candidate References to start the candidate references process. On this screen, the applicant's references would be displayed. The hiring manager would then select as many of the candidate references that they would like to have provide feedback regarding the applicant. In our example, we will select the only available candidate. We will also select the offered position from the pull-down selection box. This display allows a hiring manager to select those skills and competencies for which the candidate reference is allowed to evaluate the candidate. You then simply check the skills and competencies that could be evaluated by the candidate reference. If there would have been more than one reference, the reference would have been displayed on the screen and the hiring manager could check the appropriate skills and competencies for that candidate reference. Once the hiring manager has selected the appropriate skills and competencies, the hiring manager would click on the Continue button. The next screen provides a confirmation that the candidate reference responder information has been added. The hiring manager would then click on the Schedule Candidate Reference Responses button to schedule when the candidate references would be allowed to enter their responses. On this screen, the hiring manager sets the comment closing date for the candidate reference responses. A confirmation that the candidate reference schedule information has been added is provided to the hiring manager. The hiring manager can continue the hiring process by clicking on the Back to Applicants Selections button. On this screen, the hiring manager would select Candidate 1 to continue the hiring process. The hiring manager would select Set up an interview to start the interview scheduling process. The hiring manager would then select as many of the hiring interviewers that they would like to have interview the applicant. In our example, we will select 2 of the interviewers. We will also select the offered position from the pull-down selection box. This display allows a hiring manager to select those skills and competencies for which the hiring interviewer should evaluate the candidate during the interview. The hiring manager would then simply check the skills and competencies that should be evaluated by the hiring interviewer. Once the hiring manager has checked all of the skills and competencies, they will click on the Continue button and the following screen is displayed. On this screen, the hiring manager schedules the interview with the candidate and the hiring interviewer and also identifies the date when comments on the interview should be sent back to the hiring manager. A confirmation that the interview schedule has been added is provided to the hiring manager. The interviewer will receive an email notification that they were scheduled to conduct an interview with a candidate. The hiring manager, who completed the scheduling process, will be shown in the From section of the email sent to the interviewer. The hiring manager is likewise responsible for contacting the candidate regarding the interview date and time. On or before the comments closing date, the interviewer should respond to the hiring manager with comments on the interview with a candidate. To provide these comments, the hiring interviewer would access the company's homepage that is displayed on the screen. The interviewer would select the Interviews tab. If the interviewer has not already signed on to the system, then they will be required to log in. They would add their first name, last name, and password, and select Sign On. The interviewer would then select Fill out interviews. The next screen indicates the employee has 2 interviews scheduled for the customer service representative interview. In our example, the employee would select the customer service representative interview for candidate 1. The hiring interviewer enters their comments regarding the interview. In addition, they provide a rating and a recommendation to the hiring manager. Selecting the button Submit Comments will send an email to the hiring manager with the comments, the ratings, and recommendations. Based upon a review of the candidate's application and the comments from the hiring interviewer, the hiring manager has decided to hire the applicant for the customer service representative job position. The hiring manager would select the Application tab, Hire Applicant sub-tab, and enter the first name and last name of the applicant and select Find the applicant. The next two screens display the candidate's application. Scrolling down to the bottom of this second display, the hiring manager would simply select Hire Applicant to complete the hiring of Candidate 1 for the position of Customer Service Representative. By selecting the Hire Applicant button, this screen is displayed to the hiring manager, for the hiring manager to input all relevant information now that the candidate is an employee of the company. The hiring manager would scroll down to the bottom of screen and select Submit Information. The new employee information would now be stored in the employee database. This concludes the demonstration of the applicant tracking module within the Human Resources Management Administration system. Should you have any questions about this demonstration, please contact your local account representative, or you may email Taylor@novata.com as shown on the screen. We will then forward this information to your local account representative. Thank you for your interest in our applicant tracking module.